Well, Nick, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on the XR Stories podcast. Um, we've got loads to talk about. We're going to focus some of our time on one R&D project called Space, Time and Streets in the Sky. But you're a busy person and you've got a busy company too. So in addition to talking about brutalist architecture and Richard Hawley, I hope, I'm hoping we can also talk about a second project you've been involved with called Protopian Tales. And so that gives you a chance to talk about neon animals and kind of house music and all that kind of stuff. And then hopefully we'll also have time to talk a little bit about your research fellowship as well, or maybe just tease it a little bit. But first, let's get you acquainted with our listeners. So could you introduce yourself and your company as well?
I'm Nick Bax, and I'm creative director of Human, and we're a creative team. We're based in Sheffield. We started essentially as a kind of a graphic design team with skills in digital and some animation skills, and we've sort of developed those over the years, really. And now we're kind of doing more and more work in animation work, immersive work, and VR projects, AR projects.
So was that always something that you were drawn to as a digital agency, or is it something that's just sort of evolved, I suppose, over the years?
I think it's something that individual members of the team took an interest in, and it's sort of developed. And some people within the Human team aren't really involved in the immersive stuff, and some are almost exclusively involved in it. So, but I think it came really from our animation work. Which again was a sort of extension of graphic design and sequential graphics, which is why there's a very strong visual aesthetic to the work that we do.
Yeah, there is, and I want to talk about some of the visuals because I just watched some of the rushes from your recent projects as well, and they're so wonderfully visual and really, I want to explore some of the kind of the nature of immersive VR and designing visuals in a bit, so don't let me forget that. But first, let's dive into your first project that we had with us. So Space, Time and Streets in the Sky is what we called the R&D project. Can you set out the idea for us? So where the idea came from, what you were trying to achieve, and just lay it out for us.
Well, initially, Space, Time and Streets in the Sky, we initially envisaged it as a kind of a accompaniment to Sheffield Theatre's production, which is called Standing at Sky's Edge, and this ran at the Crucible Theatre in Sheffield a few years ago, and it tells the story of Park Hill, which is actually where we're based. It's where our studio is, and Park Hill is it was built in the early 60s. It was a housing estate, and it was actually it still is the largest listed building in Europe. So, it's got a lot of stories to tell, and the musical did that really. It sort of told the story of three different families and three intertwining narratives at this place, and it was really popular, sold out every night, did really well. And then Sheffield Theatres decided to tour it and take it to London, and it was due to be at the National Theatre last year. So that prompted the idea really, because I thought for people in Sheffield, they know all about Park Hill. I mean, it's like a brutalist castle sat on a hill overlooking the city. Everyone can see Park Hill, people know about it. And I thought people in London, they wouldn't really have that context. So it was really an idea to see if we could introduce the personality of a place to the audience. So before they went to see the musical, they could actually be at Park Hill and get a feel for the place and hear some of the stories of the people that have lived there. We went ahead with the project, and what we decided to do was kind of give the whole world an experience of Park Hill rather than just the people who were visiting the theatre for the production. So the core of the piece, really, the concept hasn't really changed. It's more the audience that's changed. And we made it a 360 piece that can be seen online. It kind of works best. I mean, it works fantastically through a VR headset if you're lucky enough to have one. If you're not, it works really well on a mobile device in YouTube 360. And yeah, and you know, it was a real success, and we're really pleased with what we managed to get across. Yeah.